Pathway. Toastmaster Pathway. Distinguished Toastmaster team.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. We have experienced Toastmasters here. Distinguished Toastmaster Sleepy. Advanced communicators, division directors or DVDs. Tonight you have heard a couple people or one person do Project 4 in the Competent Communicator Manual. In Pathways, the Competent Communicator Manual is gone. You'll have people that will be doing advanced speeches. The Advanced Communicator Manuals are gone. All of the speech work, club success, everything is gone. And instead, we have Pathways. It is a completely new educational program designed for the modern generation. I went to a presentation a couple of weeks ago, and it was very interesting. I know we have people here in IT. The idea of digital native was a very useful term in 2000. It is not now. We now have digital residents and digital visitors. I am a digital resident, and many of you young people are probably digital visitors. The new Pathways is for the digital generation. Everything is online. Your evaluations are online. Your handbook is online. You can send people likes, like on Facebook. I've been very impressed this evening at this meeting because in many times when I visit a Toastmasters club, people are desperate for that like on Facebook and will have put up 2 pictures of the pizza that they had already and will be saying, oh, I got 10 likes. It is a drug. But that is what the new Pathways is going to do online. You get badges that you can then put onto your, I believe that you will be able to put them on your LinkedIn profile so that you can go from champion to super champion on LinkedIn or Facebook. Now I would like you to look at the paper that I gave you, and you'll see the first side, it says at the top, Pathways Learning Experience. There are 5 disciplines. I wouldn't worry so much about disciplines. There are 10 pathways. This is much more important because a pathway is a bit longer than the Competent Communicator Manual. It's kind of like taking the Competent Communicator Manual and an Advanced Manual and putting them together. At the same time, and this is where Vice President of Education will be happy, you need to take on roles. You need to be Toastmaster of the Day. You need to be Topic Master. You need to do general evaluation. So at the day of somebody joining a club and only doing speeches will be over, which is very good for many clubs. When Pathways is rolled out for the first 2 years, you will have the option of staying with the old system or going in the new system. Right now we have competent communicators and we have advanced communicators. We used to have competent Toastmasters and advanced Toastmasters. And before that we had able Toastmasters. And until 2 years ago, we had one person who insisted on being called Able Toastmaster. Some people don't like change. Toastmasters is changing. I'm excited. I think it's going to be fantastic. Now what happens when you sign up? You go online. If you don't know how to do that, I will show you how. I know that logging in can be very difficult for people. I'm being a bit sarcastic, but I'm a teacher, and I teach people who think they know how to use. I haven't had a student yet that knows how to do everything possible in Microsoft Word. Not one. So I'm always teaching young people how to use the computer or how to use software. Not programming, that's somebody else's job. Now what will happen is that you will take a test, and the test will suggest what you might do. And that will be your pathway. If you do 2 pathways, and you do some other stuff, you become Distinguished Toastmaster. So it might be a bit quicker. Right now, the average Distinguished Toastmaster has probably done minimum of 40 speeches, but probably 50 to 60. Now what will happen, you can see this, you can read this as fast, quietly as I can read it out loud. So you've got the disciplines, 5, don't worry about that so much. 10 pathways, you pick a pathway, and you work through it. One of the things that they're talking about is they've added competencies. Well, tonight when we heard the objectives for Project 4, we heard the competencies. What they're doing is there's a lot more speeches added, so there's a lot more competencies. So basically, right now there's probably 150 speeches. Many of the objectives are the same. So basically, this whole edition of competencies is just more objectives. So again, it's not something that's that complicated. Now, what is interesting is that there are 5 levels. In our club, and in many clubs, I'm not sure, I haven't been here for a while. In our club, when you do the icebreaker, we give you a Toastmaster pin. And when you do 5 speeches, we give you a half CC ribbon. And when you finish your Competent Communicator manual, we give you another pin. So a lot of recognition. And a lot of people kind of smile, but nobody gives back the ribbon. And that is the idea of the new system. If you take a look at each of the levels, you get a digital badge. And it'll be on your website and other people can see it. And again, it will be something that will be probably linked in with LinkedIn and Facebook. So if you go home tonight and you've done your 3rd speech, you can put up the thing, and then people all over the world will know that you have done level 1, and you'll get lots of likes, which is what we all want, don't get me wrong. I have 16 Facebook pages, 5 Facebook groups, 5 LinkedIn groups, Twitter, all of them. And I put up stuff all the time. And I'm always happy when I get lots of likes. Now, if you take a look at the back, now the other problem that a lot of clubs have, now we talk about in Toastmasters communication and leadership. But unfortunately what happens in many clubs is one person is the leader. And a lot of people don't develop the skills. We talk about mentoring, but we don't teach people how to mentor. If you're working for a good Thai or international company, you may have gone through a very good mentoring. But even at companies that I teach at that have mentoring, you get a bad mentor, you're in trouble. And mentoring is so important. In Bangkok right now, there are a lot of Westerners running around saying, I'm a coach. Basically, a coach is somebody who teaches you something that they don't know. And a mentor is somebody who teaches you something that they do know. Big difference. So the mentoring is going to become much, much more important. And if you take a look, in your level 2, you get introduction to mentoring. And then you prepare to mentor, and then you do the mentoring, and then you have advanced mentoring. So you're going to be led through the process to develop your skills, which will be good for you and it'll be good for other members in the club. You'll see the speeches that you have to do. Some are associated with your pathway, but a lot are electives. So that means that if you see a speech that's an elective, maybe cross-cultural communication, maybe humorous speech, you can do that for your elective. Everything is online. They have videos, training videos, example videos. I was watching one the other day on how to evaluate. It was really good. The woman was speaking at a good pace. American, but not too American. And the script was there for you to read. You can stop it, start it. They had a woman doing a speech that was really bad. You grade her. Everything you need is going to be there. After a meeting, you'll need to go home and do your evaluations online. A lot of it is 5 points, click a button, put in your comments if you wish. So there will be an awful lot more. If somebody does a really good speech, if the topic master was really fun, then you can go online and send her or him a badge and say, job well done. Which could be interesting because maybe one night you get 10, the next night you get none. I don't know. In our club, we don't do best speaker. We just find that it causes too much tension. In our club, at at Capital Club, what you're supposed to say when somebody finishes a level is you now say, proficient in. We are going to stay with competent communicator. So Toastmaster is somebody working on the first pathway. 13, 14 speeches, we figure it'll take 9 months. Maybe a year. And then when you finish the first pathway, you become competent communicator. And then when you finish the second pathway, to make things easy, we'll call you advanced communicator. And then when you finish a few more projects, you become distinguished Toastmaster. A bit easier, but we believe much more useful tracks, the pathways, what you're interested in, what you need for work. Because again, one of the main ideas of Toastmasters is to practice here and make mistakes so that when you go to work, you're ready. You don't want to make mistakes at work. Last Tuesday, I had a meeting with 7 people. I sent something out to all the division governors, some of who have not passed it on yet. We have a huge communication problem in Toastmasters in Thailand, right? Huge communication problem. Most of our leaders know how to take pictures and put them on Facebook, but don't know how to forward an email. We're looking for pathway guides. I am being hard on you, but I'm sorry. If you want, a lot of people in my club are really interested because this gives you a chance to handle change. Something that you're going to see in your workplace a lot during your life. Something I'm looking forward to the next time my workplace changes. I know. So again, if you're interested in becoming a path change, leadership, communication, and again, in a friendly, supportive environment, except for me. Everybody else is, but not me. Toastmaster today.